Liza Minnelli is just like a kid sister. I've known her for so long, and you know, she's one of the busiest people we know and perhaps the greatest performer we have in the world. So Liza being so busy and having so many responsibilities, we do little drawings and we tell her what to wear for this occasion and that.
Halston's clothes can be outrageously expensive.
Here we make to order one-on-one for those people who have the luxury of having clothes made for them. It's very costly. It can be, you know, $10,000 for a dress, $20,000 for a dress, something like that. I just made one for a very big royal wedding in England that Catherine Guinness is getting married. She's wearing a big diamond tiara. I mean, the dress, if I would charge a retail price, would probably be $25,000. It's a big, long train. It's twice as long as, you know, two of these salons here.
Although he's won much fame building his giant fashion empire, Halston doesn't have a rags-to-riches story.
I have no idea what barefoot boy out of the Midwest means. I don't think I've ever been barefoot except in the summertime running around like any other kid would, around the swimming pool or something like that. No, I come from a, you know, sort of an average American nice family, and I don't know, I just had a lot of opportunities, but I've never been underprivileged and never barefooted. I've always had shoes. I started in the millinery business when I was quite young, but, you know, you probably don't remember this, but the millinery business was a very, very big business. Women wore hats all the time. And it was a very, very sizable business. In other words, women might buy one dress, but they buy two or three hats to go with it to change the look of it. I started my fashion career actually in Chicago at the Ambassador Hotel. My very first client was Fran Allison from the Cooper. And she was a big star in those days, and she was a great friend of mine. And she bought the first three hats I ever made, and then ordered three more, and then brought in clients, and before I knew it, I was in business. And that I was really a really young kid then, you know, I was only 19 or so. And going to the Art Institute of Chicago and making hats on the side, but I had the opportunity to meet a lot of big deal stars. You know, Deborah Carr was a big star in those days, and I made carloads of things for her, and Shirley Booth, and Kim Novak, a whole lavender wardrobe, and that's when I first met Elizabeth Taylor. She was married to Mike Todd.
At 25, Halston realized New York was the place to be and headed for Bergdorf Goodman's custom hat department.
I was always drawn to the fashion business. Somehow I pushed it, and I forced it, and I made it happen, and it was fun. I liked it. I had more fun doing it. I'm very vocationally placed. I always think that's the secret of success. If you like what you do, perhaps then you have an edge on that profession.
Almost never home, his showroom office dominates his round-the-clock work life.
Every day begins in this place quite different. You know, one day it starts with a television show, and the next day it starts with business, the next day it starts with clients, the next day it starts with interviews and telephone calls and all kinds of different things.
Halston surrounds himself with orchids, which he considers the sexiest of flowers.
I love flowers. I'm in Forest the Bull, and I have to have some nature around.
Halston's clothes aren't just for the rich and famous anymore. He's signed an contract with J.C. Penney's. The department store gets Halston, and Halston gets
$1 billion guaranteed contract, which is a lot of zeros. I think it will go far beyond that. You're dealing with millions and millions of people, and it's the largest contract ever signed by anybody in the design world.
Halston, setting trends and making millions.
From our mailbag of viewers' questions.